Hey Curtis, Lori with Soul Sisters Digital Design. Loved that you came to the meeting this morning and really enjoyed meeting you and also getting to hear about your business. I wanted to go ahead and get this video out to you just to show you what your competition is doing online with their digital presence and how improving yours could help you bring more clients in. Now, Google is constantly crawling the web and it's looking for information to serve to people in answer to their questions. How it knows what you do and where you are depends on how easily that bot can find out that information. So on a website, Google is looking for three things: content, backlinks, and citations. Much of those things also help with Google Map Packs. So those are the areas I'm going to be talking about in this video. Now, content just refers to the words and images on your site. Google likes to see between 1,500 and 2,000 words, kind of at a minimum on the page, to give it a really good idea of what you do and where you are. The exact amount is going to depend on the competition and also the number of keywords needed. So what's a keyword? A keyword is anything someone might type into Google looking for a particular service or product. Your content is what allows you to really let Google know what you want to be found for. So by placing those keywords all throughout your page, you tell Google exactly what kind of people might be interested in your service or product. So for you, if you do CPR and BLS classes in Georgia and Florida, you want to tell Google that so it can tell users that you exist. Now I've got your website pulled up here. It looks really nice. I like you've got your hours of availability, your training location, and a book now button. Those are always really good. And the get started call to action button. But what I don't see a ton of is actual content. You do have some reviews posted in here. But when I plug this into a thing just to count the words, I found that you've got about 575. So there is definitely room for improvement in that. Now I went ahead and did a quick Google search for CPR training, and you can see that what comes up first, we got the Red Cross because that's really what they're known for. But generally speaking, what comes up is a map. You are actually number 3 on the map, so I'm pretty close to you, and that's probably why that shows up. But that's good because more and more people are using these maps to find what they need. There's a ton of information on them is one of the reasons. You get the reviews, you get the score for the reviews, you just get a lot of info. Now, obviously, to get here in these top 3, you need to have a Google business profile, which you do. You need to have that filled out as completely and accurately as possible. And then you also want to have your name, address, and phone number listed in as many relevant directories on the web as possible. So things like Yelp and Yellow Pages, even Facebook could count. But the more times that happens, the more power it gives your profile. Every place you do that is considered a citation. The idea is that your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet, and the larger that online presence is, the more Google trusts you. Now, below the map is what we call the organic rankings. Well, you got some videos here. Google keeps changing their algorithm, so different things come up sometimes. And you got some discussions in forums. But if we get down to here, we can see that the top result is actually Impulse CPR. And then also the American Heart Association has a couple things, and then First on Scene CPR. So I pulled up the Impulse and the First on Scene to contrast you with. So here is the Impulse CPR. They have more content, as you can see, than you do. A lot of information there. And then the On-Site has the same. It's got a little bit more content than you do. So you'll see when we start looking a little bit further in depth about why they might rank above you. Now, when I'm analyzing a website, I actually look kind of behind I want to get under that hood. So I use a tool called Ahrefs to look behind the scenes. When I plug in your website here, I can see that you're getting about 4 visits per month, and that's running off of about 10 keywords. So if I drill down and look at those, I can see Georgia CPR is one of them. That particular term gets about 300 searches per month. So it's a good volume. But you are in position 17. So in the old days, they used to have 10 results per Google result page. That would have put you on the bottom of the second page. you're not getting any traffic from that. Well, you are getting a little bit. You're getting 3 visits. 3 of the visits that you have come from that because that is such a high volume keyword. Georgia CPR LLC, that's 10 searches per month. You're number 10, so you're getting 1 search. One person's landing on your page from that search. And these rest of these terms, while you are starting to, Google's starting to pick it up, it's not really getting you anywhere because you can see there's really no traffic there. Now, if I look at the Impulse CPR.com instead, you can see that they're getting 195 visits per month. And if I drill down and look at their keywords, I can see that they've clearly got a number of locations. So CPR certification Florida, that's 150 searches happening per month. They're in position 5 for that, so they're just under that coveted top 3 spot. But because they're number 5, they're getting 14 visits just from that keyword alone. So you can see how important it might be to target the kind of searches people are already using when they're searching for you online, or searching for what you do, rather. Now, the First on Scene CPR, they've only got 2 visits per month. They're down about 8. It looks like they peaked at about 10, and they've got about 54 keywords. The only one they're really being found for right now is CPR Classes Port St. Lucie. That's 50 search volume. They're position 14, so that's getting them 1. But again, you just want to appropriately target those keywords. Now, the other piece of the puzzle is backlinks. So a backlink is anywhere you find clickable or hyperlinked text from one website that links back to yours. These links act again like an endorsement of your website from other businesses, and Google uses that to build trust in your business by seeing these other people vouch for you. They're not all created equal. So Google weights those, and the ones that are local, the ones that are powerful, the ones that are super relevant to your industry are going to count more. So because they're weighted, you can't really judge and compare backlink to backlink. You gotta work on it from a position like Google would. And so this tool that I use does that. It judges those backlink profile, and it does these scores right here on a scale of 0 to 100. So for your domain, you're looking at you're not really registering on the scale yet on that, so you're rated to 0. And for the URL, which is the specific website that we went to, so your home page, you're at about a 0.6 on that scale. If we look instead at the Impulse, we can see that they're at a 36 for their overall domain, which is going to include a lot of other locations, I believe, as well. And they're at about 11 for the specific Florida page. And if we look at the last one, they're at a 2.3 and a 6. But those are because the backlinks coming in are probably more relevant. They might be more powerful. And so those are the kind of backlinks that you want to go for. Now, once all of those things start coming together, that's when you start ranking higher and higher and more customers find you. I did want to point out one thing, though. When I was looking at your page and I go to look at your shop, because you did mention that your shop was not... you weren't really selling very much. Well, if I go to your shop, I get a warning. So it looks like it is. So your website is actually on the coastalgacpr.com. Your store is on coastalgacpr.net. And it's not a secure, in other words, it's not HTTPS site, it's an HTTP site, which just means not secure. And so most people probably aren't going there. They're not going to proceed anyway, because if they're trying to buy something, they're probably anticipating using a card, and they don't want to risk their card in an unsecure site. So that could explain some of the issues that you're having. Just definitely wanted to point that out. And one other thing to point out is you want to take advantage of any opportunity to get keywords in. And so a picture can actually be a prime opportunity to do that. But if I go to this heart picture and go to Save Image As, just to see what it's named, I can see that it's cropped Coastal GA CPR copy -E159, a string of numbers, .png. instead of having a generic kind of name like that, I mean, at least you do have the name of your business in there, but you probably want it to say something like BLS classes near me, or BLS classes, St. Mary, Georgia, CPR, St. Mary, Georgia. You want it to say a keyword, because that will be picked up by the algorithm, and that will only help you. So if you find yourself wanting to learn more, or you just want to have a discussion, I'm happy to set up a one-on-one. I know we got that with BNI anyway, so we'd love to hear more about your business and see if maybe we could be of assistance. But in any case, I hope this was helpful. I look forward to any feedback you can give, because I do want these videos to be helpful. I want you to be able to take this information and implement some of the suggestions. Again, my name is Lori. I'm with Soul Sisters Digital Design. My number is 352-235-9803. Thanks so much for watching.